our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space. To go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Hello everyone and welcome to Reentry and Orbital Simulator. Just yesterday, Reentry has announced that the current status of the game is near the 1.0 mark, and that the quality is almost good enough to be 1.0. In the future, they've announced Apollo 13, Skylab, and the Space Shuttle to the current list of missions. And while I've moved on to other sims like NASP, Reentry, kind of like Shuttle by Virgin Games in 1998, holds a special place in my heart. It has been around in my life for about 7 or 8 years now, and I've had a fantastic experience playing the game, testing it when it first came out, and having a few interesting bugs and helping out with things. So when they announced the planned move to 1.0 and the features that came out, I figured I should give it a go again. And I, of course, had to beat myself up because while I've made videos explaining some of the basics of spaceships in Reentry, I've never actually done the campaigns on the channel. I've finished them all myself, but I've never done them on the channel. So let's see here. Bitrate is currently lower than a recommended bitrate, but we'll see how that goes. Let me know. Before we start, is there any name for the astronaut you guys recommend? I just picked Sunny just as a regular name, so I didn't dox my real name. So any other name besides Sunny, just let me know and we'll change that up. But until then, let's read the campaign and then get on with interior inspection. Chapter 1, Orbital Survival. The Dreams of Space. For generations, we have been gazing up on the stars, telling tales of ancient constellations that build up the night sky. These fixed sources of distant light, some millions of light years away, have been the basis for navigators across the world for centuries. Mesmerized by the unknowns and vastness of space, philosophers and scientists had dedicated lifetimes of work to answer its existence. Recent developments in engineering, technology, and research has unlocked the possibilities of answering many of the things that once was just a dream, traveling to space. Rockets. Modified intercontinental ballistic missiles can be used to launch artificial satellites to space. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union successfully launched a satellite named Sputnik 1 into orbit around the Earth, becoming the first artificial Earth satellite. It was a simple and lightweight satellite containing a radio transmitter. It transmitted a signal for 3 weeks before its batteries died and re-entered and burned up in the atmosphere 2 months later. Surprised by this, the United States created what would become NASA to expedite the U.S. space exploration efforts. Explorer 1 was successfully launched on January 31st, 1958. On a Juno launch vehicle. A cosmic ray sensor on board was used to, for the first time, detect the Van Allen belt. It provided data for almost 4 months before the batteries died, but remained in orbit for about 12 years before re-entering the atmosphere. The space race. With the launch of Sputnik 1, the completion of achieving first in spaceflight capabilities between the USSR and the US had started. The US was lagging behind, and crewed spaceflight became the next goal. Project Mercury is the first official space program with the target of putting a man in orbit with a safe return, after a long selection process with brutal tests. You finally received the phone call congratulating you for being selected as one of the astronauts to fly the Mercury capsule. Your comrade, Patrick, from the test pilot squadron, also made it to the team. The Mercury spacecraft consists of a pressurized crew compartment with room for 1 astronaut, the retro pack, used to return from orbit, a heat shield used to survive an entry through the atmosphere, a recovery compartment where the landing chutes are located, an antenna section used for communication, scanners for spacecraft orientation, and a launch escape system used to safely take the capsule away from a failing launch vehicle during an abort. The first requirement of this campaign is that you complete the Mercury Academy. Yes, we've already done that. April 1st, 1961. We are targeting a launch early in May. You are selected as the astronaut who will be the first human in history to make the journey into space. We will start with interior inspection. We are only weeks away from our first crewed launch, and you will be the first person to ever travel to space. In preparation for the upcoming launch, the backup crew of your upcoming flight will need to run a few rehearsals. To prepare for this, you will need to enter the capsule to set up the electrical system and perform a complete interior inspection. That sounds pretty easy. All we do is set the switches in the spacecraft, and then we're done. The next up, we get to fly the thing. Pretty exciting. Here we go. Welcome to the Mercury capsule, everyone. It's a bit cramped. First thing we're going to do here is just turn on the lights. That's better. Good morning, Sunny. This is Capcom. Hope you had your coffee. You'll be flipping a lot of switches before lunch. Sure thing, Patrick. Are you all ready over there? I'm eager to get started here. Yeah, just waiting for Bob, who had forgotten his badge. He just entered the room, so any second now. Anyways, if I knew they were to choose you as the first human in history to travel to space, I would have sabotaged some of your tests back in the academy. You know, I was a better astronaut than you, so even doing that, you wouldn't stand a chance. But hey, you'll be the second in space. This is flight testing intercom. How do you read? Loud and clear, flight. Roger. We will start the rehearsal now as Bob is ready. This is Capcom. You heard him. Let's get this rehearsal started. Roger. Let's get capsule 1 ready. You might have noticed that your cabin is in a cold and dark state. Use your flashlight, or F, to set the cabin light switch to both. And we've already done that. Your electrical power sources are all offline except a connection to an external power source currently powering the capsule. Let's start by bringing your internal power sources online. The external source will still be used even if you connect your internal batteries to the DC bus. Yep, so let's get these switches. We've got 3 main batteries, 2 backup batteries, and the isolated battery. The 6 internal batteries can be connected using the switches on the sides of your chair. Start with the main battery 1, push it to its in position to connect it to the main battery bus. Main battery 2 has a different switch. Yep. And set the last main battery, number 3. Do the same for standby battery 1 and standby battery 2. Lastly, connect the isolated battery to the isolated battery bus. Done. All internal electrical power sources connected to their respective buses. Open the mission pad and run the interior inspection checklist. So, I don't like to use run in any of these. So what we will do is we'll complete the checklist and then just press run so that we can continue. So we've plugged in our batteries. And now let's get everything down here set up. These are all of our circuit breakers for everything in the spacecraft. There's a multitude over here and a multitude over there. And all are required for the launch. Okay, all circuit breakers on the bus. Now we need to arm the auto retro jettison. ASCS mode switches all need to be normal and auto. Control fuel handles, verify in. Retro delay to instantaneous. Photo lights are going on. The photo lights are for the camera up here. Cabin lights on both. Telemetry low frequency on. Rescue switch guarded auto. Launch control off. All sequencer switch positions are set. Gauges look good. Clock looks good. Gyro looks good. ECS and EPS are looking good. Suit fan is verified normal. Cabin fan normal. DC volts monitoring main bus. Ammeter is off. Standby battery power on. ISOL power on. Inlet valve power on normal. And AC bus verify 115 volts. Good. Audio bus normal. All of these should be set on high power and transmitting on off, actually. Beacon will be on ground command. All annunciator or audio tone switches on. And AC to mark. Maneuver switch on. Okay, interior inspection complete. Let's run that one more time. I don't think I missed anything, but let's just double check. Normal. Ah, yes, of course. There we go. Yep, it's good to practice following the checklist manually to verify steps and get familiar with them. Checklists are your main tools while in the cockpit. And that is everything. The USSR beat us again, but we still have an important flight coming up. May 5th, 1961, launch day. The USSR successfully launched a man to space, beating US right to the finish line, with the exception of what they say is a successful flight. We know little of their journey and how space influenced their cosmonaut. Your flight is still scheduled for the 5th of May, and the objectives remain the same. We need to learn how a human reacts to being in space and if the Mercury capsule operates as designed in zero gravity, and your ability to withstand the high G-forces involved. It's time for launch. This one is on board the Mercury Redstone, so we'll be having our suborbital hop today, playing Al Shepard, if you will. Let's hope the bit rate is good. It looks decent so far. Good. Okay. Let's get everything on the road. We're T-minus 1 hour, 30 minutes to launch. We, of course, have time skipping capabilities. So that's good. All of these are plugged in. Okay. Loud and clear. Seems like you didn't get the measles. Let's get you to space. Sounds like a good plan. We're already over here. The data seems good. Weather is clear, and we are still go for launch at the scheduled time. Please check the mission briefing and the mission pad. Blah, 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 blah. Good stuff. Today's flight will be a suborbital flight with the splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean. USS Lake Champlain. Our go at the recovery location. When ready, please perform the interior inspection checklist. Roger, Dodger. There we go. Interior inspection complete. All good so far on the stream. Thank you, Petrie. How goes it? Oh, I forgot about these. So close to doing it from memory. Almost. And maneuver switch. So close. You can't get them every time, right? No one's perfect. We're still go for launch. You're running on external power. Use time scale to T-minus 41. I hope I don't get a copyright claim on the music for the intro. I'm very certain that the intro does not last long enough. Plus, with all the other talking and stuff going on, I'm pretty sure it counts as fair use. But I'll fight that out if it comes up. Here we go. Coming down to 41. Yeah, it is going to be really cool to have all this audio and stuff if it ever happens, because my goodness, it's the one thing about NASP is it has the whole mission profile. It's really nice, but it's just audio. I got a taste of it in their Apollo 7 mission, but yeah, they don't have it for the whole mission, and that would just be something that would make the feeling of flying these things a lot more epic. And I'm actually more excited for Apollo 13 than I am the space shuttle personally. I was really excited for the space shuttle when it got announced, but as soon as I saw the Apollo 13 audio coming in, I just lost it. Battery set, DC. Yep, ISOL. It's good. And we'll request abort capability test. Careful not to hit switch to internal power. Would be devastating. Devastating for a battery situation before launch. But yeah, it's that would be bad. Time scale to T-minus 20 minutes, not a problem. All right, start the abbreviated interior inspection. So, yep, All switch fuses number 1. Squibs are armed. Auto retro armed. Normal. Auto normal. Risky switch auto guarded. Pressure regulator in. All these are set. Good. Feels good. Descent's good. Barometric altimeter is good. Accelerometers are good. All these gauges are good. Okay. Normal. Good, good, good. UHFDF normal. High power. Transmit off. Beacon switch to continuous. And retro delay, did we set that? It sets before launch. Nope, sets now. Good. Should be everything. Good, 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 good. I gotta flip this back to main. Doesn't really matter. Just following a stream here, the parking lot before picking up some groceries. Yeah, Apollo 13 mission will be fun, I hope. I will split up the mission into multiple missions when I try to replicate some of the key moments. Fantastic. Just like the current one then, or the current missions. I personally find the Mercury campaign to be the most fun. I thought that those tracking objectives in the orbital flight and some of that sneaky stuff that happens later, it's personally the most fun I've had in Reentry. I do like the Gemini campaign and the Apollo campaign, but the Mercury one, it's just there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with Mercury. What I would love to see personally is oh, it's here. Good, fantastic. I was gonna say I would love to see the orbit parameters here, so I know they used to not be there. But now that orbit decays in, you probably have added it since then. I would love to see the seesaw maneuver and see how it affects the orbits, because the Mercury spacecraft thrusters, they don't go through the center of mass, so you can actually change your orbital parameters by doing this really cool seesaw maneuver. So that would be cool to test out. Yeah, where are we at? Full internal power checks. Certainly. Yeah, Mercury is really the most fun. If I want to play Apollo, I usually go to NASP. But I still find Apollo to be particularly fun. I like the relay sounds of the computer. I wish NASP had that. It's quite satisfying. All right, on internal power. Let's come down to the T-minus 5 minute mark. Yeah, I was kicking myself. I realized I haven't done the campaign on this channel, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? I've done all this Apollo stuff, and probably none of my viewers know what the hell I'm doing because, well, I haven't really done much of the beginner stuff. So I figured now is a good time. We are not on multiplayer, but we can do a radio check. It's always going to come up 5 by, but yeah. Center of gravity and RCSB. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Yeah, Mercury, this game is what I used to start learning. And then I moved on to Shuttle 1998. Just make sure we have everything here good. Exactly. It's all pretty much automatic. Okay, let's get us down. 5 minutes. Start the final checks. Already done those. Okay. Let's get the ascent checklist queued up. 60 seconds. And we can clear this right away. Exciting stuff coming in. T-minus 30. Yeah, I'm currently on vacation right now, which is why I probably sound a little strange. Different computer, different hardware, all that. I am very far from home on vacation. So there we go. Liftoff is in, umbilical disconnected. Lifting off from this tiny little thing is almost comedic when you put it side by side from Apollo. Now follow the insertion checklists until insertion. Ascent checklist until insertion. That is A-OK. So a couple things you're going to want to look out for when you're flying. Altimeter, obviously increasing, which means the rate of descent should be 0. Control fuel should remain. You've got your accelerometer to look at. And the most important thing here is A, your oxygen, but B, you're going to want to take a look at these DC amps. If you lose a battery, your one battery will spike. If you lose battery 1, then all this stuff will go out. So you'll want to check on the amps. If you ever see the amps rise, it's because you lost one of the other batteries. And another cool thing I like to look at is the isolated battery. Cabin pressure holding at 5.5. That's good. I like to look at the isolated battery to show you something cool. To show you what the isolated battery actually does. It is no backup. It's actually what controls the pyrotechnics. Powers them. What powers the pyrotechnics. You can, of course, bridge the isolated battery to the main bus if need be, but it doesn't have as much power as your standby and main batteries. So bridging it is a last-ditch effort, if you will. Here we go, cut off. So up next should be tower jettison. Tower jettison green. Yes, that would be fantastic. I would very, very much like that. Would be awesome. Cap set. Tower is gone. Complete the ascent checklist. Auto retrojet switch off. Retrofuse off. Where is it? Emergency retrojet. There we go. And retrojet. Turnaround is complete. Look at that. Okay, let's do things. Go fly-by-wire. Manually center the launch vehicle in the window. WASD, Q and E. Then switch it to magnification mode and track the booster for 60 seconds. Certainly. Here, where is our booster actually? We're looking at about... Should be more pitch up. Yeah, where is that thing? She's... Oh, there she is. Ah, she's really hard to find. I got to remember that when you're looking at the periscope, yaw is roll and roll is yaw on the periscope. Okay, let's go back to retro attitude and then manually set auto. Push down, looks good, and auto. All right, Roger Dodger. See you later, Petri. I'll probably still be streaming by the time you get home, but you'll be far busy to join, so that's a-okay. I'll see you next time, Petri. Thanks for stopping by. Pre-retro checklist. Here we go. Should get that retro warning light very shortly. Okay, retro fire. It's good. Retro complete. Standing by for jettison. I'll probably give it another 10 seconds. Yeah. ASCS is going to entry attitude automatically. Let's jet. We don't want to have that thing on when we're in entry attitude, or it can ram back into us. Of course, in here, it can't. It'll clip right through you, but in real life, that would have been a concern. So we are in retro attitude, or reentry attitude. So let's get it there. Perfect. All right, coming down now. Yes, for whatever reason, it has not engaged in roll. So we'll manually control this entry here. Okay, that's good. Coming down. Standing by for shoots. Okay, here comes the drogue. 3, 2, 1, Drug out. Okay, switching UHF-DF to real time. Water sealing the pressure regulator. Good stuff. And there's our ship right there. I really wish we could time skip a little bit faster down to the bottom, but that's okay. We can sit this one out. So how's everyone's day going? Pretty good? Not so good? Mine's going pretty good. Cooked up some lunch just before I started. We don't need to see our landing. Close the sun shield. Sleep time in the Mercury capsule. I don't know what causes that, these artifacts. Really wish I knew. But I guess it's the something about the landing bag deployment that causes these artifacts. Oh, hello. Didn't know there were reflection probes on there. Splashdown. Good stuff. Okay, next up. Astronaut Patrick successfully followed a secondary Mercury Redstone mission to verify its objectives. The USSR orbited a cosmonaut, and it's time to catch up with their achievements. Going Orbital. Okay. 9 minutes before the launch. Good. Internal power. Yep. Okay, disconnected launch vehicle from umbilical power. T-minus 10 minutes to launch. We are ready for external power removal. Yep, already did that. Go through mission briefing. I'll reach out at T-minus 5 minutes. Mission briefing, mission schmeefing. We don't need to do that. Launch control switch to ready. All these are to mark. They're transmitting UHF, continuous, high power. Battery 1. Arm and arm. Good. Hello, flashing. Don't know what that's all about. T-minus 5 minutes to launch. Perform the final checks checklist. That is complete. T-minus 1 minute. Go for launch. 30 seconds. How far am I going down the campaign today? As far as I can is the answer to that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Clear. Roger. We're programming and roll okay.
Is there anything you wanted me to talk about in specific? Any questions you had?
Stand by for 20 seconds. Roger. 2, 1, mark.
Anything with Gemini or Apollo you were looking to see? Okay, let's see here. Everything's looking pretty good so far. After this, I might take a look at the graphic settings. I might turn them up just a little bit more. Bitrate issues again. I don't think there's anything I can do to actually fix that, though. On my end, the bitrate is fine, but on YouTube, it's not fine, which is interesting. Waiting for VR to come out. Oh, yeah. Certainly. So you don't have the game yet, or do you have the game?
Bingo. We confirm staging on DM. Roger.
Okay, booster engine cutoff. Let's perform our booster engine cutoff checklist. Waiting for tower jet. Sure feels bigger. Picked up some vibrations earlier, but getting real smooth now. Tower is gone. So Beco sustainer will complete the job. Please complete the Beco checklist. Auto retro jet switch off, retro jet fuse off, and emergency retro jet fuse off. Okay. I have not dared to run Apollo in VR. I just have a Quest, so it's... Oh, nice! They fixed the lighting issues with Mercury. That's great. I don't dare to do it. I have a 3060 Ti, but I play on Quest, so you have to have two different VR interfaces running at the same time. Really causes a lot of issues with the floating point stuff, and at last I tried it. I'll try it in Gemini before I try it in Apollo. I got absolutely sick when I tried it in Apollo. There. I just realized that the stream looks absolutely fantastic on the VOD, but not on my screen, and it is because I do not have it in the proper mode. Let's do cinema mode. Looks pretty good. I like that one. Cinema mode looks good. Okay, coming up on orbital insertion any moment now. Let's take a look at the dealio here. We're looking at probably another few seconds or so. Yep. Cut off in 3, 2, 1, and cut off.
Rico.
Here comes CAPSAT.
Fired. Okay. Adjusting.
Okay, looking good. Orbit checklist is complete. Roger, we are checking orbit data. We're go for orbit. Use the fly-by-wire system to manually track the launch vehicle through the window as you're heading for CYI. Roger, see you at CYI. Okay, let's track that booster. The booster should be here. Where is she? Oh, there she is. She's a little above us. Okay. This is one of the best missions. I really like this one. I like the tracking objectives. Okay. Coming up on CYI. Let's get a move on. Here we are, CYI in range. We get telemetry indicating that battery 2 is faulty. Please verify, and if so, shut it down for now. Yes, battery 2 is indeed faulty. Let's shut it down. Main 2 off. Okay. Roger, we'll shut it down. Battery 2 is offline. How do you proceed? Continue as planned. We still have the other 2. main batteries as well as the standby batteries. Keep an extra eye on those batteries for the rest of the mission. If another fails, we'll do an early retrograde. Roger, will do. Returning to the objective, switch to fly-by-wire and rotate the spacecraft to a prograde attitude. We are switching fly-by-wire and gyros free. Going to prograde attitude. Maintain until Zanzibar. Using pitch only, pitch up and down to observe Africa as it fades from brown to green. Roger, see you at Zanzibar. Okay. Looking real mighty fine. Yeah, we do get a bit of cloud flicker. I might switch the high def clouds off. We'll just mosey on right past that. Zanzibar reads you, the sustainer should be somewhere below you and will move ahead of you in a lower orbit. Switch to manual propulsion and track the sustainer. Roger, going manual. Where is she? Ooh, it's dark out. It's real hard to see where she is. Yeah, I don't see her any flippin' where. Are you guys sure about this? I don't see her. Nope. Yeah, I don't see her at all. Let's just continue moving forward. Normally I could track her, but this time sun went down a little sooner than expected. She could also just be way out there as well. iOS reads you. Return to retrograde attitude. From 000, yaw left until you can observe the sun. Track it until sunset. Yeah, sunset has definitely already happened. Hate to break it to you, iOS, but you're a little late on that. Welcome to Australia. Might be hard to see anything during the night, but try to observe the lights, then try to take a rest. We'll wake you up at GYM. Roger, sounds like a good plan. This is Capsule 1 signing off. I did not change the name of the capsule. Silly me. Yes, rest time. Oh, look at that sunrise. Wow. Good morning. Feel free to take a final peek of that sunrise. How do you feel? Feeling good up here. Being weightless seems to have no impact on my performance. Roger, the flight surgeon is analyzing the data. Roger, all fine up here. Flight surgeon wants you to take a blood test sample. Thanks. In the next orbit, we'll perform the retro burn and return back to Earth. See you at CNV. CNV. Roger, Dodger. Pretty sure it's actually CVN. Oh, no, here it is, CNV. There it is. Welcome back to the Cape. We are glad to see you, and congratulations on completing a full orbit. This is a huge achievement for the program. Thank you. Earth sure is beautiful from this altitude. It certainly is. I'm scheduled for the last Mercury mission. Looking forward to getting into orbit. Yes. Anyway, manually return to retro attitude, then get ASCS to auto, then return gyros to normal. Roger, Dodger. The last orbit. We are 30 minutes from retro. Please complete the TR minus 30. All right, TR minus 30 is complete. All right, coming down to TR minus 15. TR minus 15. Emergency retro sequence on. Emergency retro jet on. Well, that's good. Squibs are armed. Auto retro jet is off. Telemetry low is good. On UHF, beacons continuous. Retro fuse. Good, good, good. Okay. Let's verify. And we're good. Coming down. T minus 5 minutes. Capsule is in retro attitude. Earth looks really good. But if we wanted to be sure, yes, looks good. Just a slight bit off in the old roll. There we go. All right, ignition. Accidentally time skipped right past the retro sequence stuff. That's a-okay. Retro fire complete. Prepare for jettison. And jettison is green. Going to entry attitude. All right, here it comes. Entry interface detected. Ah, yes, the two annunciators tied to the cabin lights. That's a nifty addition. That's exactly how it was in real life. Okay. ROD buildup. Here we go. G buildup. 3 Gs. 4 Gs. 5 Gs. Calm blackout. 6 Gs. 7. 8. 9 Gs. 8.5. 'There we go. It's coming back down. $2.5. 2. 'ROD is coming back down. Braking almost complete. Okay, out of the red, into the green. Okay. Entry is complete. Alright, this is Capsule 1. Do you read? Capsule 1. Do you read? Loud and clear, Capsule 1. Fantastic. Standing by for drogues. Ah, yes. If Petrie ever does rewatch this, One of the cool things that you could add is the peroxide dump on the RCS. It would be really cool. And drogues out. Okay, snorkel. Standing by for main shoot. The peroxide dump of the RCS is still going to be pretty cool. If that happens on any of the ones that aren't the suborbital flight, I'll have to look at the specs again. Main is out. Once again, you have created history. This is a huge achievement. You are scheduled for 2 more flights. Recovery is heading your direction. Roger. 10,000 feet. This is USS Noah. We do not have a visual yet. Roger, Noah. Okay, we have a visual, but we are still quite far. We estimate to be there in about 20 minutes. That is not far at all. Not as far as some astronauts. Who may or may not have been sitting in a life raft eating a bar of chocolate when recovery found them for missing the retro fire period. Mm-hmm. Roger? Yeah. Just chill until we splash. Just chill until we splash. Chill. Oh, I forgot to arm the landing bag. Oopsies. There we go. And splash. Sure is good to be home. Roger, great work. It's another first for you. I'm sure you'll catch up, Patrick. Score is 2-0. You bet I will. We'll see you at the end of debrief. This is MemCC signing off. Okay, well, while we're here, let's take a look at the graphics configuration. Post-processing, I think we could turn that back on. Crew models. Desolation, that looks good. It all looks good. Campaigns, orbital survival. Here we go. The program had a huge achievement after your previous flight, and you have become a national hero. But it's time to get up again. Your next flight will have 6 orbits. Big plans are in development for the next phases of NASA. It was announced by the president that we shall travel to the moon by the end of this decade. Things are ramping up and moving fast, and new programs are in development to reach this goal. One of the remaining tasks is to learn how long durations of weightlessness and zero-G force affects the astronauts. Your task today is to start these types of missions with a slightly longer mission than previously tried. Your goal is 6 orbits, followed by medical tests to see how it has affected you. Mission 4, long haul is a go. Okay. Here we are, sitting down. It looks like we are T-minus 1 hour and 30 minutes away. We're just going to use this to get through as quickly as possible. We've done it without this so many times that I think we've earned the right to do this. Okay. Sunny, you ready for a long haul? We are at T-minus 90 minutes. Sure am. Let's get this cockpit set up. We already did that. Roger. Mission Control Center is ready. You know the procedures. Follow the normal checklist to prepare the cockpit, starting with the complete cockpit inspection checklist. Try to follow the correct timestamps for each of the checklists. Yep. Roger, will do. So bring us down to T-minus 40. T-minus 40. Okay, ready for the abort capability checklist. Yep, there we go. All right, we got that all through. Coming down to T-minus 20. Complete abbreviated interior inspection check. Coming down to T-minus 10 for full internal power. All right, see you later then. Need to go to the shop as well. We'll see you if I can log in later. Well, I'll probably be taking a break at some point before continuing. So, see you later then. Roger, switching to internal power. You know, I just decided I kind of don't like the post-processing on this. Can I turn that off? Ah, no, I'm going to have to wait. That's fine. It's just, the post-processing looks really bright. T-minus 60. Thanks, will be a good flight, I hope. Indeed. Just try not to bump into a switch or two. Roger, we'll try my best. T minus 30 seconds. Let's bring her down to T minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Umbilical disconnect, liftoff, and the clock has started. Roger, time to fly. We see a malfunction in battery 1. Switch it to off. Roger, switching it to off. Will this have an impact on the mission duration? No, the remaining 2 batteries should hold for many more hours than needed. We are still go. I'm picking up some heavy vibrations, a bit early to be max Q. Missile telemetry is looking at the data. Roger, awaiting procedures. We are still go. Booster and sustainer is showing nominal values with a few slight exceptions, nothing to worry about. Roger, trajectory seems normal. Abort. Abort complete. Escape tower fire complete. Tower jettison. Retro fire. Retros are jettison. You are on a suborbital trajectory. Recovery is being instructed as we speak. Prepare for reentry. Manually maneuver if needed. And engage the ASCS if attitude is wrong or roll program does not initiate. Attitude looks a little wonked up. Yep, looks like we're doing this on manual today. Okay, I guess not. Let's just start that roll then. Okay, everything's looking good so far. We're just waiting for our entry. Yeah, that abort, that was quite the thing. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining. Quite the little surprise there, that abort. Always keeps you on your toes. Shallower flames this time, since we didn't pick up as much speed. Even less than the suborbital hop as well. And it looks like we're entering sideways. Nothing I can do about that, though. We're locked in tight. It's going to be pretty bumpy. Here it comes. Drogue's out. Snorkel. Do you read? Loud and clear. Drogue is out. Yes. Seems like we've had some communication issues. We were about to turn blue here. Good to see you again. Roger, waiting for the mains now. Let's land this. You said it. Mains are out. Landing bag is processing. Landing bag's out. Temperature is a very comfortable 60 degrees. Let's just... make it a little warmer. Yes, that was a rather short flight. A bit too exciting. We'll analyze the data to see what went wrong. Yes, we sure will. We'll prepare for another splashdown. Yep. Long haul. That was, to quote N9 Gaming, more like a shortcut. I've seen him fly this mission. That was quite a long time ago, though. He hasn't done re-entry in years. Awaiting yet another splashdown. I think after we finish the Mercury program, we'll take a small break, get a drink, have a snack, watch a short 30-minute video, and then we'll come back in and fire up the Gemini capsule. I plan to be on for about 3 to 4 more hours. Three to four more hours. That sounds pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. We still have one more mission after this one, but that should complete the Mercury campaign. And we'll take a break between then and Gemini. And I hope I'm not rusty on my entries in Gemini, or we're going to have a very sad time. And I hope our entries in Apollo, that the pings works out for us. I really don't want to do a lunar entry. Those are really, really difficult to not die on. But you'll see. We'll have a good time. Well, we will have a very, very good time. Gemini campaigns tend to be the longest, so each mission lasts roughly 30 minutes to an hour. So we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. I don't think I'll get to Apollo today, but we'll see. And splashdown. Okay. Let's fire up the last one. A malfunction in the Atlas launch vehicle caused by an anomaly resulted in an abort, the loss of the launch vehicle. This has caused a bit of a setback, but we are on track again. Since then, astronaut Patrick followed with a successful identical mission to yours, currently holding the record of longest time in space. The last Mercury mission is almost complete. After 36 hours in orbit, we are currently in the 24th orbit. It's time to fire those retros and head back home. Oh, I forgot about the post-processing again. Oh, well. It's not a problem. I cats kind of don't like the post-processing, but that's just me, probably. Let's take a look. Preparing cockpit state. Yep. Yep. Post-processing looks good on the stream. Looks great on the stream. On my monitor, it looks foggy, but here it looks absolutely spectacular. So maybe I'll suck it up so it looks a little nicer for you guys. Why are we doing what we're doing? Welcome to Zanzibar. Congratulations on completing the objective, Sunny. It is the last orbit of the mission, and all that remains is to fire the retros and get back home. Thank you, Zanzibar. Looking forward to stretching my legs and some fresh ocean air. I can imagine. Let's prepare for retro fire. Correct attitudes and rates. Retros will be fired as planned at CSQ with a splashdown in Hawaii. We are 20 minutes to retro time. Let's crank up the AC. Roger that. We'll soon be out of contact. Maintain retro attitude and prepare the cockpit for retro fire before reaching CSQ. Not a problem. I earned this. I've been doing it all by the checklists for the whole day. You know what? Let's do it by the checklist again. Emergency retro sequence on. Retro rockets are on. Emergency retrojet on. Drogue off. Retro manual off. Squibs are on. Auto retrojet off. Delay normal. Lights on. And UHF continuous. Looks good. Oh. That was sneakily turned off. Okay. All right, let's skip some time. This is Capsule 1. There seems to be some issues with the electricity. Mission Control Center, this is Capsule 1. Can you hear me? I have a major electrical issue. We'll try to correct, and prepare for retrofire. Yeah, don't say. Major electrical issue. Let's see here. Standby's on. Should fix it up. Good. All right, we're back in business. Good morning. Great to see you again, Capsule 1. We seem to have issues with the telemetry data. Status report. I have issues with the electrical system, attitude, instruments, and the ASCS. Horizon scanners are probably gone too. Roger, telemetry is correct then. Let's work this out. Did you turn off the main batteries yet? It seems the radio works, so you have power. Yes, let's get those off the line, actually. There we go. Can you use the window and the periscope for attitude control? Will do. Retro sequence starting. Verify the cockpit is ready. Prepare for any manual overrides and attitude bypasses. Okay. Ignition. Roger, ignition. Retro attitude still looks great. Okay, we recommend you shut down the programmer by setting its fuse to off for the remainder of the flight and using manual control. This includes manual jettison of the retros, manual triggering of the 0.05G, and the chutes. Start by separating the retros when ready. Retro is gone. Roger, maintain attitude and prepare as much as you can for entry. We will see you at Hawaii, where we will trigger the 0.05G and re-enter. Roger that. Capsule 1, welcome to Hawaii. Let's land this capsule. Yep, okay. Sounds like a good plan. Let's get our pitch up. Maneuver to attitude and trigger 0.05G when ready. Keep manual attitude control during entry. Looking good here. 0.05G. Enjoy the view of Hawaii as you fly over. See you on the other side. Good luck. Okay, looks like we're aerodynamically stable. Let's get a roll programmed. We got roll programmed in. Looking good. Power failure, attitude failure, gyro failure, programmer failure. That's what I meant to say instead of attitude failure. Yes. Automatic stabilization control system failure. Well, what do we got that's actually decent? Probably not much. Let's uncover the drogue. Get the manual or the landing bags into off so we can manually deploy them. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. And we'll get those on. Okay. It's coming up on entry now. Let's hold our breath that everything holds. If we complete this, we'll have completed the Reentry Campaign, and then it'll be up for a small little break of approximately 30 minutes or so. I don't have, unfortunately, anything to put on for the break or anything like that because I am currently not at my regular setup. I'm on vacation, very far away, so I apologize. But we'll just have to deal with it. I do believe something is squirrely with the programmer. I have the circuit breaker off. The enunciators have come on for it, but it is still automatically programming in some things. It should be entirely manual control, but yeah, so I may have to submit something for that. But otherwise, everything looks pretty good. Just a small bit of a bug that probably got introduced at the systems update, but it's not that big a deal. Yes, okay. Entry is RD's coming back down. Good. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, we are going to have to break for a 30-minute break after this flight, right before we start the Gemini campaign. So I apologize for those of you that have just joined. But if you haven't seen it, last flight we had a launch abort, and this flight we had a complete and total power failure. So that was a good time. So I'm curious to see what'll happen in the Gemini campaign if that's what happened in the Mercury one. Capsule 1, do you read? Loud and clear. Kidding, of course, I already know what's going to happen, but we'll pretend like I don't. Okay, standing by for the drogue. Drogue is out. Snorkel is out. Main chute is out. Beautiful sight as always. I agree. Landing bag out. Excellent. A bit of a tense ending to an otherwise well-executed mission. Great save on the electrical system and attitude control. Indeed it was, but any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Yes. So let's analyze and learn from it. Indeed, the last Mercury mission is soon complete. Yes, hope to get to fly that Gemini. We have just scratched the surface of space exploration. This is Recovery. We have you in sight. Welcome back. Roger, thank you. A lot of celebration here. Enjoy some time of your own. And I will do after this mission is complete. Take a 30-minute break, and we'll head straight for Gemini. We get to do some fun stuff. EVAs, rendezvous, docking, riding an intercontinental ballistic missile. Well, I mean, Atlas is an ICBM, but riding the Titan II, that one's kind of famous, you know? We'll have a good time. It's a well-textured heat shield. And splash. Rider splashdown. Splashdown of the last Mercury mission. Well done. Good to have you back. Thanks, Patrick. If I know you right, I'm sure you're keeping track of our firsts. What's the score? Oh, you bet. And it's hard to admit, but you're in the lead here. Score is 3-1. If we both make it to Gemini, I'll catch up. Would have thought you would be better at losing after all this time. Sonny, I'll see you at briefing. And yes, the rounds are on me. Sounds good. End of mission. Okay. Next up is mastering orbital flight. So when I'm done with my break, we'll read this out and we'll begin a new spacecraft. So as always, thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in approximately 30 minutes or so. Let's get the text here. Crew is on break. Transform. Center. Okay, I'll see you guys after my 30-minute break. Thank you for watching. Okay, thanks for waiting, everyone. Let's get in with the Mercury campaign, Gemini campaign, mastering orbital flight. The race for space between the USSR and the US is still going strong, and the USSR has achieved more firsts than the US. We are in catch-up mode. Both Vostok and the new USSR spacecraft Voshchod is making firsts at a rapid pace, such as longest time in orbit, EVA, and multi-crew operations in space. During Project Mercury, the president announced the goal of landing astronauts on the moon. To reach this goal, the development of a new program named Project Apollo was started. Project Mercury successfully met its goals of sending astronauts into Earth orbit and returning them safely back to Earth. Building on its success, a new spacecraft has been developed to further learn and understand how orbital flight works. The program is named Project Gemini. Before sending anyone to the moon, we need to learn everything needed to do so and test it. Gemini's objective is to understand and test the space travel techniques needed to support the Apollo mission to land astronauts on the moon. A lunar mission needs us to survive in space for up to 14 days, understand the methods of performing extravehicular activity, and the orbital maneuvers necessary to achieve rendezvous and docking with another spacecraft. The Gemini spacecraft is a larger spacecraft with room for 2 astronauts and has the capability to alter its trajectory in space. The larger spacecraft is divided into 3 major sections: the entry module, the retro module, and the equipment module. Both the retro module and the equipment module are separated from the spacecraft before entry. The reentry module is the pressurized crew cabin that makes it possible to survive in space. It is the only part of the spacecraft that makes the entire journey from launch to splashdown. It is powered by 2 different power sources: batteries, as in Project Mercury, and the newly developed fuel cells that power from cryogenic substances. 2 attitude control systems, named the Reentry Control System, is used for attitude control during reentry, and a state-of-the-art on-board computer will aid the crew in performing orbital maneuvers and guidance. 2 different types of joysticks provided control of the spacecraft in both yaw, pitch, and roll, and translational axes: forward, backward, up, down, left, and right. Translation control enables rendezvous and docking, and crew control of the flight path. The adapter module consists of the retro and the equipment module. The equipment module consists of the equipment needed during orbital flight. 16 thrusters for both attitude and translational control is located here, as well as the fuel cells and cryogenic substances. 4 solid retro rockets are located in the reentry module and are fired one by one as in Project Mercury. The equipment module powers the spacecraft in orbit and is separated before the retrograde burn. After retrograde, the retro section is jettisoned before reentry. The press around the world printed your name in every paper after your heroic efforts in Project Mercury. Your skills and knowledge of the spacecraft was the essentials of your success, and the difference between a safe entry and a disaster. Your veteran skills are needed in Project Gemini, and you will be a commander with your own crew. Martin, the director of flight crew operation, has assigned a newly hired astronaut named Aaron Sky as your co-pilot. Before jumping into your first Gemini flight, it's time to visit the academy, yada yada yada. We've already done that. Once you have completed and received the Gemini pilot certificate, yada yada yada. After a few successful test flights with the Gemini Titan II launch vehicle, it's your turn to be the first who will test the new Gemini spacecraft and for the first time try to change the shape of the orbit using the OAMs, Orbital and Attitude Maneuvering System thrusters. The USSR has already beat the US in having a multi-crewed flight using their Voshchod spacecraft, but this is yet to be tested in a US spacecraft. The new Gemini spacecraft is ready for its maiden flight, and the flight has been assigned to you and your crew. The goal is to test some of its core systems and maneuvering capabilities. Let's go. Okay. Welcome to the Gemini spacecraft, everyone. Two-seater. It's a nice vehicle, in my opinion. Let me adjust that screen again. It still is weird. Let's go for... I still think cinema mode looks the best. Okay. Good morning, Sunny. How are you feeling? Seats okay? Roger. Feeling good. All strapped in. Sounds good. Once again, you are the first to fly it, Sunny. We are all excited for the mission and seeing this state-of-the-art spacecraft fly. So are we, Patrick. Aaron and I will proceed with the cockpit setup. Roger. Flight and MCC are all ready. Follow procedures. Right, Aaron, you heard them. Let's get this thing ready for flight. Right. First, we will inspect the cockpit and set up the remaining switches so we are ready to perform the pre-launch system tests. Use the run feature and complete the interior inspection checklist. Well, let's turn the light down a couple clicks. That's probably better. There we go. Cabin lights are on. Let's just get those on. Okay, secondary O2 bottle open, abort handle normal. All circuit breakers except time to retro 256 open. Good. Sequence lights bright with F die. Good. Safe. Platform rate. Scale high. Standby, automatic, and zeroed. Good. Overhead panel. Close. Can't fool me. Okay, good. Acme bias power goes to primary. Roll jets goes to yaw. Rest of them are closed. It's good. Attitude drivers primary. Looks good. Up. Good. Off. Evap should go to bypass and max flow. Closed. Off. Cryo heaters off. Cryo instrumentation, propellant instrumentation off. UHF transmitter receiver number 1. AHF is off. Silence is off. Keying should be continuous. Intercom push to talk. And record should be continuous. Rescue beacon. Without light. S-band should be on command. C-band should be on continuous. Calibrator is number 1. Standby TMs are on real time. TMs are on real time and acquire. Tape playbacks on command. Antenna select reentry. HF antenna off. Number 1 switch on UHF. Radar off. Platform free. Scanner off. Yep, scanner off. Gyros on primary. Computer pre-launch and off. Attitude controls on platform. Fuel valves closed. Press knob closed. Aux tape on in auto. Fuel cell crossover closed. Power off. Purge off. Cells off. Manual data insertion unit off. Delta pressure off. Voltimeter monitoring battery C. High. Platform rate. Good. All of these are closed. There is no Agena on this flight. AC power on inertial guidance system. Biomeds 1 and 2 control. RCS heaters off. Bus ties off. Batteries off. Squibs on umbilical. Good. And fuel cells are on warm-up. Okay. It said IGS. I'm going with IGS. And we have no Agena for this flight, so I'm not even going to turn those circuit breakers on. All right, complete pre-flight battery check. Timescale T-minus 15, and proceed with the battery check. Roger, let's complete the battery check at T-minus 50 minutes. Let's come down to 50 minutes then. 50 minutes. BT. Good. 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 And good. Battery test complete. Checklist complete. Proceeding to the fuel cell check. Roger, fuel cell check. Yep. Fuel cell check complete. Coming down. We are preparing for the squib and abort test. Please proceed with the checklist, and when ready for the test, request squib and abort test using the comms menu. Roger, we'll start the squib and abort check checklist. Okay. Squib batteries off. S1. Good volts. Good. 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 And good. Okay. Squib and abort test, please. Abort light on. Abort light off. Thank you. Checklist complete. Roger, we'll switch to internal power at T-minus 15 minutes, walk through the briefing in the mission pad, and use timescale if you feel like it. Roger, will do. Capsule 1, we are ready for the switch to full internal power. Yep. Sounds good. Batteries on. Squib batteries on. And fuel cells are on. Switch to internal power. Internal power checks complete. Roger, prepare to run the pre-flight checklist at T-minus 5 minutes. I'm going to do it slightly before. Roger. Good. Usually like to take my time. Let's, I mean, we could do it at 5. It's not a problem, really. Complete the pre-flight checklist and prepare for the flight. Yep. Batteries on. Computer on. Manual data insertion unit on. Aligning for the launch. And alignment is complete. It's ascent. Rate command. And function 72, do not enter. Good. Let's have a launch. Oh. Monitoring the platform alignment towards planned launch azimuth on FDI is crucial. Yes, we've already done that. Roger, countdown proceeding as planned. Start following the ascent checklist. Okay, double check that the platform is aligned. Okay, and okay. The rocket will roll into the planned azimuth and start pitching into orbit. Keep your hand on the D-ring. Yeah, we got this. Can't wait to see that Earth horizon again. Is there a key binding to dismiss that? Let's see here. Input controls. Flashlight. Communication. Toggle aids. Abort handle. Mission objectives. Oh, there we go. Okay. 30 seconds. Here it comes.
10, 9, 8,
Let's
7,
light this candle.
6,
This is
5,
it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Lift off. Clock's running. Roll is in. That's a lot of shaking. Yes, it is. Roger, roll.
Good lift all day. Roger,
Pitch program. Ah, there she goes. Entering abort mode 1-2.
50 seconds, you're looking good, 8.
All good. Let's ride this Titan into orbit. Yes. Here comes abort mode 2. Prepare for staging. Level sense arm. Staging. Here we go.
Roger, staging.
Look at that horizon. Oh, it's so bright. It's so bright. It must be a post-processing problem. I'll have to turn it off. Welcome to space, Aaron. We have good visual of the Earth, and the spacecraft seems to be okay. Roger, you're doing great. Yes. I certainly hope so. How does that look? That looks okay on the stream VOD. Let's see. Yeah, it looks alright. Okay, we are coming up on the cutoff. We are going to get OAMS to orbital insertion very shortly. OAMS to orbit insertion capability. And shortly after that, we'll have the cutoff at around 6 or so minutes, I believe is the time. Probably 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 40 some seconds. Maybe less. Okay, OAMS to orbit capability. Level sense arm. Okay. Coming up on cutoff. Seco.
Roger, Seco.
Cutoff. Separating from the launch vehicle. Separation. Jettison the horizon scanner covers. I can see the cover. 90 seconds to the horizon scanner acquisition. Enable OAMS and 0 out. So a little bit of the N key. And a little bit of the L key. There we go. Complete orbital insertion checklist. Okay, off, recorder off. Batteries off. Squid batteries on still. Okay, that's fine. That's off. Computer to catch up. Okay, looking good. Radiator temp check. Radiators are good. Set flow. Computer is at catch-up. Okay, we're uplinking an OBC update with the target parameters of a new circular orbit. The burn will take place at periapsis, about 36 minutes and 5 seconds. DCS uplink. Okay. Oop. 110. 4564. Minus 813. 0. 0. Good. Prepare for circularizing burn at periapsis. Roger, if you feel too pressured, the burn could take place at apoapsis passing the next orbit. Just follow the circularization checklist manually. Okay, you know the drill. Verify the OBC cores and reference the circularization orbit checklist. Burn will start at periapsis and lower the apoapsis. Keep an eye on the time to periapsis. I will prepare for the burn. Let me know when it's 5 minutes to the burn and enable OMs. Roger, powering the ohms. Powering the controller for ohms. Ohms is ready. Set. Stabilization control to sharp and forward. And platform. Roger, we'll do stabilization control, sharp and forward. Burn will be prograde. Forward thrusters translate forward. in the SEF to lowered apogee. Roger Dodger. And the burn will be taking place at when? One hour, 10 minutes. Okay. Well, while we're waiting around, one hour, 10 minutes, 45.64 seconds. With minus 0.813. Plus 0. And minus 0. Burn time is going to be 40.66. Okay. There's the burn pad. No remarks. I forget which one it is circularizing. Is it dead? 84. Ah. There we go. That's why. Bring this forward. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Slow down. 300 seconds. 5 minutes to periapsis. Prepare for the burn. Roger, let's circularize this orbit. Yep. Good stuff. Four, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Orbit circular. Main objective complete. Not bad. Next item on our flight plan is to start preparing for the retrograde burn. We wish to splash down in the Atlantic, so our retrograde burn should be on the west coast of the US. There we go. West coast of the US. Oh, that's cool. New stuff, new data. All right, let's move the orbital point to the west coast. Okay. Past the point. There we go. Request retro burn at orbital cursor. We should now have a retro burn time. We will start the retrograde checklist 30 minutes before ignition. Okay. "30 minutes before retrograde. Proceed with the pre-retro checklist." Let's control power on and go blunt end forward. "20 minutes, standing by. Left tank open. Overhead panel, open, open. Suit fan number 1 and 2 keying. Record, continuous. Antenna select entry on C-band beacon. Entry C-band beacon on. Perform battery test. Good. Okay. Stop. Right, O2 bottle open. Core 19 at 1200. Set computer to entry. "19, 4, 3, 2, 1, start." OBC on. Checklist complete. Roger, then run the 256-second retro checklist. Will do. Here we go. Batteries on. CS. Open, open. Gauging. Continuous. Cryo off. Entry. Platform. Attitude. Rate command reentry. Ohms off. Acme. Indicate retro attitude. RCS activate. Retro power arm. Platform attitude. HF transmit receive off. 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 Bypass. And we're good. Start 1 minute to retro checklist. Hold on. Gotta do 256. Okay. 1 minute to entry checklist. Adapter separation confirmed. Retro rockets armed. Oh, scheiße. It clicked the button. Retros are burning. Follow the checklist to complete the burn and a retro jettison. Yes, I meant to uncover that, but it actually just clicked the button instead. Which is a small bit of a problem, but I guess it's not that bad. 20 seconds early. Retrojet armed. Retro module jettison. Okay, this is it. We are soon entering the atmosphere. Let's complete that post-retro jettison checklist. Doing great. Time flies when you're in space. Hell yeah, it does. Good luck with entry. If you feel you have the time and control, perform some slight RCS maneuvers to ensure the jet temperatures are good. Roger, see you on the other side. Okay. Computer attitude, low. Ohms control propellant circuit breaker. Fuel cell control 1 and 2. Tape recorder control. Landing squib. Okay. This is it. You have crossed the entry interface at 400,000. Prepare for entry and atmospheric drag. Here it goes. And it even simulates gyroscopic precession. Nice. Yeah, now I just gotta wait. That's it. Just wait. This part takes a while. Oh, landing point's gonna be right on top of Hawaii. Good times, good times. I sincerely hope we do not land on land. That would be rather unfortunate. But I think we'll just be able to squeeze through here. Or this ain't Hawaii. Why did I just say this is Hawaii? This is clearly not Hawaii. This is the Bahamas. Stupidity. Don't be no stupid. Alright, here it goes. Okay. We got this. This is Capsule 1. Do you read? High altitude drogue out. There we go. Sure. Is CU visual? We read you 1-5. Can you repeat? We have contact following the landing checklist. Prepare for drogue release. Yes. We've already had that. Performing landing checklist. Yeah, this is going to take a while. But luckily, once the mains go, we actually get something to do until the landing, which is powering stuff off, so that's always nice. Here we go. 10.6. Main is out. Landing attitude. Prepare for splashdown. Roger. Recovery close. On their way. Not too far. We still see you. Okay. Roger. Attitude indicator. Circuit breakers. Open. Rescue beacon without light. Yep. Acme bias power off. RCS heaters are off. Scan heater circuit breaker open. Computer to pre-launch. Computer power off. Platform power off. Rate gyros power off. AC power off. RCS circuit breakers open. RCS control power off. Acme control number 1 and 2. And that's it. We just wait for landing. Yeah, we're going to be here a while. I'll be back when splashdown happens. Splashdown. Okay, that was great. Indeed it was. MCC, we have splashdown. Everything is good. Roger, welcome home. Hope the boat floats, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of happy faces down here. Can't wait to see you guys. Thanks. I believe the score first has increased 4-1 now. Yes, indeed. You beat me 3-1 in Project Mercury. I have not forgotten that. I bet you haven't. I'll see you both soon. This is MCC signing out. Recovery will take over. And it's done. Number 2 is the first walk in space. Question is, do I do that now or do I wait? I don't know, because I am a bit tired. I would like a nap. I've been at this for quite some time now. Almost 3 hours. I think we're going to stop here. Yes, I think we're going to stop here. And I'll be back on tomorrow. Probably not the same time. Maybe back on tomorrow. We'll see. But I think I'm going to stop here. Getting very tired, so. Next time, we're going to have our first spacewalk. I'll read the objectives now, but we will not fly. The new spacecraft is working well, and orbit maneuvering has been proven in the previous flight. It's once again your turn to head up there and perform the first EVA attempt by the U.S. once again. The USSR beat the U.S. in performing the first ever EVA in Voskhod a few months ago, but this is a critical maneuver we need to master for Project Apollo. Extravehicular activity, aka spacewalk, is mandatory in Project Apollo, where astronauts will need to leave the spacecraft and walk on the moon. This mission is designed to support this and learn how you are able to work outside the spacecraft in Earth's orbit. So that's the next mission. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you then.